with picks and parlays, and it is Power Hour time. Week 1 is, well, it's almost in the books for us here. Still got the Monday night game. It is Monday the 12th. Don't forget to check us out, Power Hour, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. As always, hit that like button, ring the bell for notifications, subscribe, do all that so you never miss any of our live shows because we've been doing some live halftime primetime stuff. So don't forget to check that out as well. Here's what we got on the slate today. We brought in the big guns here. I got Craig Trapp talking UConn, Michigan, Washington Lions. We got Tim Earl talking about BYU and Oregon and the Thursday night matchup that's coming up, Chargers Chiefs. We also, last but not least, brought in the man, the myth, the legend, Sean Higgs, talk a couple college games, Ole Miss, Georgia Tech, Florida State, and Louisville. And I think that game is Friday night, if I'm not mistaken. And we got the Jets Browns, which we all know everybody just can't wait to watch that game. So without further ado, I am going to bring in Craig Trapp, the man, the myth, the legend himself. Boss man, how are you?
Good. You forgot to mention our friends from Caesars.
Oh, I never forget. Nick Earl just cuts in our promo. But check out Caesars Sportsbook right above my head here. They have a pretty sweet deal going on. Wager up to $1,250 on your first bet. If you don't win, you'll get 100% of your stake back as a free bet. And win or lose, you also get 1,000 reward credits and 1,000 tier credit points.
That's just as important as that free $1,250. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, I'm telling you right now, this is where you get your free rooms, your free meals, all that comp stuff is in those tier credit points, and the reward credits and all that. And it's a risk-free bet, $1,250. So all you got to do is click on the link in the description of the video. That'll take you right to everything. So let's talk. Let's talk week 1. What happened?
Yeah.
What happened? Lions card.
We're at before week 1's Monday Night Football game. So underdogs covered 7 of the 15 games. So it felt like more because several won outright. So I think a lot of people focus on those. But 8 favorites, 7 underdogs as far as against the spread. 10 and 5 unders have been really good so far, including both primetime games. Both win under, and we've got a Monday Night Football game that who knows what that one will be, but it could be a big week for unders if we go 11 and 5. So that was a pretty good week. I would say the big takeaways this week were Cowboys look terrible, injury at quarterback to Dak Prescott. That's obviously big news. Going to have big results, big lasting effects. The Bills looked amazing, I thought, as expected. Rams didn't look so good, so we'll see how they look this week. I thought all the West teams, now obviously the AFC West teams, had some big expectations. I didn't think the Chargers or the Raiders looked really good. So we'll see what the Broncos look like tonight. Obviously, the Chiefs did look really good. Right. So I think there's some takeaways that the opening lines for this week. I don't know if you've looked at these, especially that Thursday night game. Chiefs 3.5-point favorite. That's a pretty interesting game. Your team, went off. I thought that total, it came out at 46.5, jumped to 48.5 right away. Big line movement there in that one.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that here in a little bit more. I thought the Cowboys would be off the board, but right now, injured Cowboys face my Bengals this week at home for Dallas, 6.5-point underdog for Dallas. So those are kind of the Sunday Night Football game. The Bills are a 9.5-point favorite over the Titans after the Titans lost at home to the Giants. And the Eagles open as a 1.5-point favorite in a 52.5-point total. There was a lot of line movement on that one. The Eagles opened at 3 after the Vikings were that big win at home against Green Bay, a 1.5-point favorite. The total went from 49 to 52.5. So we'll talk about those games, of course, more in detail as we go off throughout the week. But that's the initial.
I'll tell you what, Buffalo looked. I said this before. I'll say it again. Buffalo looked like they were in mid-season form already. The Rams looked like they didn't play much preseason football. The starters, and they didn't. But I'll tell you what, the biggest team I thought had the biggest jump yesterday, or not jump, but just kind of came out and said, hey, guys, remember, this is our division, was the Kansas City Chiefs. All this talk about all these other teams in there and not, Russell Wilson's going to bring Denver to all this stuff. And I'm not saying he's not. I mean, we'll yet to be determined on this Monday night game. But the Chiefs kind of came out and said, hey, we're still the big dog on the top of the hill here, and let's not just write us off right away. So I
And
thought
the
that was
Vikings,
kind of interesting.
The Vikings looked amazing. The NFC North, the Packers, you can pretty much write them in most years. I don't think that's the case. I think the
Minnesota
Vikings are
could
for
be
real.
dangerous.
So, yeah, I think that's going to be a really good game.
Yeah. So listen, let's get into the first game on the slate here for you, my friend. We're going to go college first. UConn at Michigan, -46, big favorite. Obviously, Michigan always is with these kind of matchups here. Over under is 57.5. Before you tell us about that, I want to remind everybody, Craig's weekly pass. You got to use this right here. picksandparlays.net/Craig. You can get his week pass for only $99. There's tons of value. I preach value all the time on Picks and Parlays. If you can't get value here, it doesn't exist. There's value here. I mean, you're going to put out – how many plays you're going to put out in a week?
I would say this week could probably be 25. It could be upwards of 30.
And that's on the lighter end compared to some of our other cappers.
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about that later. But check this $99 pass. Stop it. Just go do it.
Off. Can't get it. Yeah. 50% off. Can't beat it.
50% off. You're welcome, folks. You're welcome. That's what Picks and Parlays does for you. We bring you the good stuff. Now let's get back to this game. UConn, Michigan, big favorite. Over-under is 57.5. Talk to me about this.
It's a UConn team that, when you look at UConn, in years past, you say, hey, not a very good team. I mean, they're 1-2 on the year. They opened at Utah State. They kept that game within the number. Then they, like the second week, they played Central Connecticut. They won 28-3. It's not very impressive. Last week, 48-14 loss to Syracuse, which I don't know about Syracuse yet. So I'd say that one's an unproven game. Michigan's looked really good. Colorado State, 51-7. Hawaii, 56-10. They did not cover, believe it or not, against Hawaii. The line was 52. So
I can't believe they didn't do that. I mean,
yeah. I mean, what were they up at half? 45-0, right?
Yeah, it was
45.
I think it was no 42-0. 42-0. They scored 21 in the first quarter, 21 in the second, nothing in the third, which is where that's where that came from. And then they won 56-10, couldn't cover.
You can't have any confidence in UConn. I don't think they're going to be able to score a lot of points. This Michigan's defense is. I thought they were going to take a step back. Remember, all the guys that graduated went in the NFL. I thought this team was going to take a step back. Hasn't been the case so far. They've looked really good in both games. Obviously, neither one of those teams are like Ohio State quality that they're going to be facing later in the year. But neither is UConn. So I don't think UConn. I would doubt they score double digits. And I think Michigan. They've got bigger fish to fry down the line. They're going to be working in the second and third string, middle of the third quarter, I'm guessing. I don't like the side in this game. I would take Michigan if you held a gun to my head, but I'm thinking you go with a total in this one, Lenny. I think you go with the under. I think Michigan's like, hey, we're going to dominate this game with our defense.
I thought UConn plus 46.
I'm sorry. I said the wrong thing. But I do like the under a lot here. So let's take UConn plus 46. And the reason why I'm sorry, I jumped around, but let's just say the under first, and the reason why I like the under, I think Michigan gets up big like they did last week, puts the scrubs in, and puts it into cruise control. Yeah. Side, I do like UConn. I said Michigan. Gun to my head, I would take UConn plus 46. But I would say the stronger of these two, slightly on the under. But this isn't a game you should go heavy on because when you get these big numbers like this, weird things. You need one good thing to happen if you're UConn, and you're going to cover.
That's fair. All right, we're going to move on to some NFL. Before we do that, I got to tell everybody, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Pick some parlays, a power hour, pick some parlays power hour, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Can't miss it. Can't miss it. None of our live stuff. Let's talk about the game, obviously, of the year. I'm not going to say the year, the game of the week here. Okay, game of the week, obviously. I mean, I don't understand how this game hasn't been flexed to a primetime decision yet.
Right.
But the Washington Commanders, or that's their team name this year. We'll see, yet to be determined for next year. Washington Commanders at the Mighty Lions. Lions are -2. Write it down. They might not ever be favored the rest of the year. -2. Over under is 48.5. I got to remind everybody, weekly pass for Craig Trapp, picksandparlays.net/Craig is only $99. That's 50% off. You guys got to jump on this. There's tons and tons of value there. Get on this. Now, Craig, here's where you tell me the Lions start their Super Bowl run.
Well, I don't know about Super Bowl run.
Oh, come on, man.
I would say this. If you're a Lions fan, you just have hope because the defense is terrible.
That's all we ever
That's like the defense is terrible, but the offense has taken another step forward, which I thought late last year, I thought this offense was showing those glimpses, that glimpse of hope. I like this offensive line. They can run the ball now. Like I think they might have one of the better balanced attacks in football. Like they don't. I think they can win the ball running the ball. They can win the ball passing the ball. Those are dangerous teams. And a Washington team that struggled, really probably, if anybody watched that entire game with the Jaguars beat them up and down the field the second half. Jaguars dropped the touchdown pass, missed a field goal, or they win that game. And it probably wouldn't have been close. So Washington left a lot of points on the board as well. But, like Carson Wentz is that type of quarterback. He makes bad decisions. He threw multiple picks. I like the Lions to take the points in this one. I do think the total is a stronger play, but if you're saying which side do I like, Lenny, I'm on your Detroit Lions here. I like the Lions at -2.
Run the tape back, Nick Earl. When you're watching this later and editing it, I need a snippet right here. I need this clipped, sent to me so we can just make it the main page on picks and parlays, everything right there. But your better play is the over 48.5, and I'm on the Lions side. I mean, we all know that. I love this over though. The weakness in this Lions team is obviously the defense. The Lions are going to put up mid-20s. Washington
I think they
probably puts up more. They could put up 30. I mean, we saw. I can't believe they put up 35.
I don't think 35 this week. I think this Washington defense is a little better than the Eagles. I don't know. Maybe they're about the same. It's hard to tell at this point in the year. But I think they put up 30 this week. They put a 3 in the front of it. Let's just say that. 30 in the front gets us over here easily. I do think Washington will be able to score a little easier. That Jaguars defense, I think you're going to end up seeing that they end up being better than what people thought this year. They have a lot of talent, so it happens you get picked on the top of the draft a lot of time. This Lions defense is probably going to finish in the bottom 5 or 6 in most defensive categories this year. So, and it doesn't help. When your offense is super explosive, you're not protecting that defense either. So let's take the over as the better play, over 48.5. But if you're a Lions fan, like our buddy Detroit Lenny here, you might want to sprinkle a little on the Lions.
Well, here's the thing with the Lions
get them as
defense.
A favorite very often.
Right. No, it doesn't. But as a defense, the Lions, they're terrible against mobile quarterbacks. They always have been. Like Jalen Hurts had a bajillion yards, I felt like yesterday. It was like every time it was 3rd and something, run pass option, Jalen Hurts right, Jalen Hurts left. It was either that and 10 yards, bang, bang, just chopping stuff off. So, we don't have a mobile quarterback here in Washington. So I think they're going to get after that a little bit. And maybe our rookie, Aiden Hutchinson, can actually get some sacks here.
Well, they're going to have opportunity. They like a lot of play action pass. I love the tight ends for Washington. Logan Thomas is a nightmare. So I like the over here, over 48.5. And sprinkle a little on the Lions. Why not? -2, -2.5, depending on where you get it. Hopefully you get it off that -3 key number. That's the key.
That is the key. All right, Craig Trapp, I appreciate you stopping by. We got to move on, my friend. So I'm going to kick you on out of here. Guys, don't forget, I can't tell you guys this enough. Like, subscribe, ring the bell for notification. Picks and parlays. Power Hour is Monday through Friday. It's 3 o'clock all the time, every time. Okay, we'll see you guys then. Now, listen, we got Tim Earl coming up. Tim Earl's going to go over BYU and Oregon, and he's going to hit on the Thursday night matchup with the Chargers and the Chiefs. Then after that, don't forget, we still got Sean Higgs coming up with Ole Miss, Georgia Tech, Florida State, Louisville, and Jets Cleveland. We're going to bring in Tim Earl real quick. Tim Earl, the man, the myth, the legend himself from Earl Sports Bits, but all the way from East Carolina University, Timothy Earl.
Yes, hello.
What? I give you that mass grand entrance, and then yes, hello. That's it. That's all you.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, how you doing? I'm Tim Earl. All right, Tim, you have the esteemed pleasure of talking about this. What game are you talking about? Baylor, BYU. Or I'm sorry, Oregon. BYU, Oregon. I have it listed. It's just wrong.
That was last week's game.
Yeah, I know. It's just labeled wrong. BYU at Oregon. Oregon's -3.5. Over under is 56.5. Before you tell me about this play, I'm going to remind people here, ESB's weekly pass. Go to picksandparlays.net/ESB. Weekly pass, only $99. You guys can't take advantage of this. I don't know how else to help you. Okay. I don't know what else to do for you. Talk to me about this BYU at Oregon.
Well, on last week's game, I really wanted to jump on BYU. Nick was on Baylor, so we didn't really get to put it up on the site. I saw everybody all over Baylor at plus money and all this stuff, and BYU beat them.
Yeah.
I think this BYU team is going to be good. Obviously 2-0 to start the year, and they normally play a good schedule. Oregon is this one's up in the air because we haven't really seen much from them yet. Because week 1 they get absolutely blown out by the number 1 team in the nation, and then last week they win 70-40 versus Eastern Washington. Like I really don't know what to get out of them. I feel like I think BYU's more towards the side. They're obviously a lot closer to Georgia than they are to Eastern Washington.
Right.
I think BYU wins this game. On the road, BYU normally plays a tough schedule, and I think they're ready for it. They've already played Baylor. Baylor was a top 10 team. Oregon opened up at 11th. They're in 25th now.
25th right now.
At the moment,
BYU is actually 11th, and they're ranked 12th, and I think that's a pretty accurate
100%.
ranking for them right now.
Especially after their win last week versus Baylor. That was a big win for them. Now they go on the road for Oregon. I think they're all pumped up still. I'm going BYU. I'm going to be on them a bunch this year. Grabbing the 3.5 points, grabbing the money line, sprinkling both. I think they're going to be a solid team, and that's a spot that I'm going to go after.
That's fair. I'm going to tell you guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. You won't miss Power Hour Monday through Friday, 3 o'clock Eastern every day. Tim Earl, now this is a Thursday night matchup. We're going to go into the NFL here. We got Thursday night matchup, Thursday night football, Chargers at the Chiefs. Chiefs minus 3.5 favorite at home. Over-under is 54 here. Talk to me about this. Before you do, though, I got to remind people, and I'm going to do this a bunch because there's a ton of value here, but the weekly pass for the Earls right here, picksandparlays.net/ESB, $99. We talked earlier with Craig Trappin about he put up about 20, maybe 30 plays, 25 plays. These guys are going to have
That's
3
for
times
football.
as that. Yeah, they're going to have that on Saturday for college. Okay, so
and then you add the MLB and the CFL and the WNBA for the last couple of games, and we got a lot of stuff.
You might get $99. You might get 99 plays. I'm telling you right now. Okay, I mean it's crazy. There's a lot of value there on that. So definitely take advantage of that while you can, folks. Chargers Chiefs. Talk to me about this game.
Yeah, I think the biggest question mark in this game is Keenan Allen. He has a hamstring issue, and he's scheduled to undergo an MRI on Monday. So that will be a big teller to this game. If you think that he's not going to be in this game, and I'm going to probably lean towards the negative. Right. I would go Chiefs. If you think he's going to be in, and if you think he's going to be out, grab the Chiefs now at 3.5. If you think he's going to be in, wait, because then you might be able to get the Chargers you might be able to get the Chargers about the right price. So the big question mark will be Keenan Allen, but I'm going to go Chiefs in this one. They showed us last week against an Arizona team that I'm high on, but that did not work out well last week. They did not play well, but the Chiefs showed that they have a good defense and their offense is still there.
Yes.
And the Chargers, I kind of want to call it a struggle win versus the Raiders. They didn't look like they controlled it the entire time. Raiders had plenty of opportunities, and it was big plays late in the game that kind of got the Chargers the win in that one. I'm going to lean towards the Chiefs. I think they're the better team right now. You're saying that this one's a pick 'em if it's on a neutral field, and I don't really feel that way. I'm not as high on the Chargers as everybody else. I was a lot higher on the Raiders. But this is a Chiefs spot for me. I think they cover the 3.5. I would also lean towards an under because primetime unders have been hitting at like 63% or something the last 5 years or whatever it is. So lots of primetime unders lately. So I'll lean that way, but Chiefs is going to be my play for this one.
I'll tell you what, though, I will say this. At the 54, I think even with what the Chiefs did last week, that number's a little high, in my opinion. A little overreaction about overs here. I like the under. I do like the under in that. I don't think we get to 50, but I love this Chiefs minus 3.5 here. I think the Chiefs have been listening all offseason here and said, oh, we lost Tyreek Hill. Oh, no, the Chiefs are going to suck. And, oh, no, Russell Wilson's coming to Denver. Oh, no, we might as well just, this, that. And the Chargers, I've said this before, I'll say it again, best team on paper in the NFL. Top to bottom, I think. But they can't put it together for whatever reasons. Coaching staff, players, whatever. They can't do that. They struggled against the Raiders team. I thought the Raiders and the Chargers looked, they weren't. I wasn't impressed by either team. But the Chiefs came out and showed, one, you had a defense. You shut down Kyler Murray in Arizona. And your offense didn't skip a beat. So I like that play, Tim Earl. I appreciate you. Don't forget about Tim Earl's weekly pass over there. picksandparlays.net/ESB. Weekly pass, only $99. Tim Earl, I'm going to kick you on out of here. We're going to bring up the man, the myth, the legend, Sean Higgs, as soon as I can here. We are going to go over which Sean Higgs is going to go over. First, we're going to go over Georgia Tech, Florida State, Florida State at Louisville, Ole Miss at Georgia Tech, and Jets Cleveland. I'm all over the place. What do you want from me, folks? Okay? What do you want from me? Let's bring in Sean Higgs, man, the myth, the legend himself. Mr. Higgs, I don't know what to tell you. I had a few too many alcoholic beverages yesterday.
That's what happens. You're closing in on 50 and you want to drink Zima. I mean, what do you think?
I know, Zima. Get the hell out of here with that. Zima. Oh, gonna get some wine coolers as well.
James, little Bruce Willis come out. See, golden wine coolers.
That's fair. Listen, I got to tell everybody, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Pick the Parlays Power Hour Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. First game you're going to go over here is Florida State at Louisville. This is the Friday matchup. Florida State's -2, over under 54.5. I got to give you guys a special for Sean Higgs as well, because I've been doing it for everybody else. Weekly pass, only $99. That's 50% off. Okay, picksandparlays.net/Sean, SEAN. Don't try and, not that SH stuff. Okay, SEAN. This is the real Sean. Okay, value. I mean, Higgs, how many plays you going to give out in a week? What do you think?
I got
value here.
I got 13 college and 10 NFL already up here on a Monday.
Already, and it's Monday.
Now,
so
and here's the thing: some of these games won't even be up in a package because I bet early. I do the Look Headline show on Sunday night. Again, I got Cincy under 51.5, 52.5. The lines moved. I got Cincy +2. They're a 7-point fave now. Games move. I Carolina +4. Games move. So I say, Lenny, buy a long-term package because we don't wait till game day to put up pack. Me or anybody else. It's not like the games go up the day before. They're usually up multiple days ahead of time. We're not waiting on stuff. So for me,
you get some early line movement stuff in that, like that. The Cincinnati game's a perfect example. Not to mention, you don't want to wait till the last minute. Listen, some games you do, most times you don't. Though.
I say in the midday my show, Lenny, you've heard me say this. I got two numbers. One number is +38.66. The other is +20.18. Same games, except you're talking a half run. This is just basically baseball season. With a $1,700 difference, it adds up half points. They add up.
And this pass right here, let me just tell you, it's all sports here. Okay, it's not just football. Okay, so you're getting all the MLB, you're getting all everything there. So, talk to me about this Friday matchup though. Florida State -2, Louisville over under 54.5. Louisville.
And I kind of like Louisville. They opening day, a fave, and they get steamed all the way up. They get embarrassed. Come back, nobody gave them a shot. Outright winner on the road. And now here you got Florida State. I think they're in for a little trouble here against Florida State. Norville, maybe go off the hot seat. Big win over LSU on the road there, right? Neutral. Come on. They were playing Louisiana. I like Cunningham. I think he's a good quarterback, and I think he's a guy who could kind of will teams to win. If I'm saying, like, he's good enough to make the plays. But I don't know how Louisville's going to stop the run here. Florida State's going to gut these guys. They have one of the top 5 rushing offenses, right? Overall yards per game, like 200-some yards a game. They run the ball. And we saw against UFC, 200 yards on 5.5 yards per carry. And against Syracuse, 40 rushes, another 200 yards. So, yeah, you might be able to keep it close for a little bit, but when the offense is wearing you down and beating you up, by the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter, that offense is going to explode, and a tight game that could be, say, 24-20 is going to turn into a 36-20 game because your defense is just gassed from getting steamrolled all game. So I'm going to take the Seminoles here. This was a 1. It got up to a little bit 2.5 here, and now it's a 2. So, yeah, I kind of like where the line's going. I already bet Florida State, so I'm on it here with everybody.
I like it. I mean, I don't hate Florida State at all. Louisville, I just don't know. I don't know if they know what they're doing. I'll be honest with you. They look they don't listen,
Satterfield, this is year 4 for him. He's in trouble. Like this was going to be a good year. You have a basically a 4-year starter here at quarterback. You're supposed to kind of have a breakout. I don't know if it's coming. Florida State could be back. I like Norville as a coach. I mean, we'll see how they do. This spot here, I just think for the Noles, they're going to run all over them. They could. You're giving up 200 yards. I guess. Okay, you're on the road giving up the run, but the team's going to come in and want to run the ball. They'll run it on you.
That's fair. I got to remind everybody to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. You'll never miss any of our Power Hour action Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to move on to some more college football. Why not? Saturday matchup. Ole Miss at Georgia Tech. Over under is 60. I'm going to remind everybody again about Sean Higgs' weekly pass. Only $99. Picksandparlays.net/Sean. Don't miss out on any value. That's value, folks. Ole Miss, Georgia Tech. What do we do here? I don't know how to feel about this game.
Yeah, this one, and this is a tough one for me because when we do the videos, it's kind of like I want to be games that I'm moving on and like. And college, I've been all right with college so far. I'm 55%. I'm rolling along here. I'm going to go Ole Miss here. I'm going to lay the big number, and it's 16 now. This was, this had a random open of like a 5 on a spot, and it went up to a 10, a 14.
The line's been all over the place. I don't know how to act with it.
And Ole Miss, you lose basically like a Heisman kind of quarterback, 1,000-yard wide receiver, and yet they still kind of trug along. They bring in a couple transfer quarterbacks, 28-10 versus Troy. Again, it was 21-3 at the half. What kind of game we'll get there. And then Central Arkansas 59-3. Does it really? I mean, it was 28-0 in the first quarter. That's a tune-up game. But this Georgia Tech team for me, I mean, Kiffin, we know we're going to get out of Lane Kiffin and the SEC here. Tech, to me, you fired a guy a couple years ago off of like a 7-win season. You thought he was down after taking him to 2 championship games. And this team here has won 3-4-3 games, beating nobody. They used to run the football. You're trying to switch it up and bring it into a modern offense. It hasn't happened. They're predicted to win 3 games. This isn't one they're going to win. I think Ole Miss comes in here, does their thing. I mean, I don't like a quarterback rotation, right? You have 2 quarterbacks, means you have none. But I don't think Georgia Tech is really a good team. Would they play Clemson? They had 30 yards, 70 yards rushing, 100 yards. Yeah. And I like Tech in that game. I said, hey, this game was 14-80 last year. I'm getting 30 points or whatever it came down to. It was in the 20s.
Right.
I don't want to lay that with Clemson with the guy quarterback who threw 9 touchdowns. But that being said, you barely beat Western Carolina, 35-17 or 24-point fave there. I mean, I'm not sold. I think the coach is on the way out here. Jeff Collins might be a nice guy. Can't win. Kiffin in a rout here. Should be a 20-point win for the Rebels.
I agree with that. I think I'm worried about Georgia Tech because they're just so wishy-washy in my opinion. But I think Ole Miss gets it done. I think that defense is actually legit, and I think they're gonna do some harm there in Georgia, at Georgia Tech, I should say. We're gonna move into some. Go ahead.
Well, as I was gonna say, you have to. Okay, it's not a marquee non-conference, but if you see Clemson beat these guys by 30. You better do okay. You're in their stadium. You better win by 15 or 20 points. You better get to this number as a SEC team, right? Because Clemson's supposed to be a playoff team. If Ole Miss has any hope of crashing a party over Georgia or Alabama, you gotta put up good games here against a power,
these are the games you need to win by 20 plus. You need to win by 20 plus. I mean, if you want to, you're ranked 20th right now in the college football rankings. If you want to move up and you want to get in those teens. Maybe even, give those, like you said, Georgia's running for their money and stuff like that. These are the games you got to blow somebody out. Yeah. So Ole Miss, get after it. I got to remind everybody to hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, Picks and Parlays. Power Hour, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to get in some NFL.
Yes.
Jets, Browns. Maybe the second best football game of the weekend after my Lions. Jets, Browns, -6.5. Over-unders, 40.5. I'm going to remind everybody one more time. Weekly pass, only $99. 50% off. picksandparlays.net/Sean. Take advantage of it while you can. That's a gift, folks. That's a gift. This guy over here went 5-0 in his circle plays. He won't tell you. I will. 5-0. Get after this. Get after it. Talk to me about this game. I got one play in this game. It's the easiest play. This is a gift.
I'll tell you, I got a 10-3 overall in NFL week 1, so I'll take that too. So not too bad. And there's 10 games up for this weekend. Woohoo! Party time.
Not too shabby.
So yeah, I'm going to go over this total here. Now, initially, I'm thinking maybe you think under, right? You think, Jets offense is terrible. Cleveland didn't look that good against Carolina, but you know what? Look at that Carolina game. You're facing an old foe. He kind of knows the defense a little bit. Maybe you got some tidbits there. And again, you're breaking in a quarterback, which is why the line went from a +4 to a -2 to a +2 all over the place. In this spot here, the Jets with Joe Flacco are a miserable bunch. And that's saying Jets were one of my only losses this last week. You know, I mean, I thought, I want to see White in there. That being said, give me the over here because I think the Jets will, if they can't score 10, I think Myles Garrett will just jack up Joe Flacco to a point he fumbles, and I get a defensive touchdown. And I believe it or not, I do like the Cleveland offense. I think it's a solid offensive line. They got running game. The Jets, and I'm not saying the Jets defense isn't solid, but 40, when we have quarterbacks, even on both sides, you have guys who could probably turn the ball over and generate some points for the other side. So I'm going to go over to 40.5 here.
My play is exactly that, over the 40. But I'll tell you what, not by much. This is a low number, 40. But I think both these teams, I mean, you're going to look at like maybe a 24-21 type game. I mean, we're going to get a couple points over. Maybe we can get to the 42 number or something like that. We're going to squeak over, but that's the only play I got in this game. Until the Jets, I don't know what's going on. I mean, until Zach Wilson comes back, the Jets are kind of easy on.
And listen, I like usually 6.5. I want to take the dog. I mean, I had the Jets opening day here. I'm like, I just think people, all they got to do is just win by a touchdown. It's easy. It's 6, just a touchdown.
Easy.
They can't win by 7. They can't win by 7. I mean, that's why
nothing easy in the NFL.
That's how we cash with the Steelers and the Lions and the Texans and all these dogs. But yeah, so I do kind of. That spot, I kind of lean dog, but I just think we'll see some points here. Everybody's got the Jets left for dead. I don't know. I think we see 20 plus from both of these guys. 24-20 gets us
maybe Joe Flacco gets a little bit more of a groove. Week 2 now, he's back in the.
He threw for 300 yards last week. I can't believe it.
I don't know how, but he will. And
I think the Cleveland offense is better than the Lamar offense. I mean.
I agree. Nick Chubb, one of the best running backs in the league there.
Hunt's not too bad either. Comes in, just steals vultures.
They got a very good 1-2 punch. So at running back, or at the running back position. So I like that over 40.5. Sean Higgs, man, I appreciate it. As always, it's always a pleasure. Guys, don't forget, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. You'll never miss any of our live shows. Picks and Parlay Power Hour, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Midday Money. What time's that on Eastern time?
That'd be at 12 noon Eastern, 7 days a week.
This guy don't take days off. Days off. You want a day? You want a day off? You want a day off?
That's why you own sometimes in video.
Go shovel. I can't tell you which is shovel, but you could go shovel.
We got look headlines Sunday nights. We're doing halftime show today with Craig for the Monday Night Football.
Yeah, the Monday Night Football. You guys are going to do a halftime show, a little live betting action there for you and Craig for Monday Night Football. I'll definitely be tuning in from my.
Winner yesterday halftime. We said take Tampa Bay yesterday. We said take Tampa Bay at the half. This Dallas team is anemic. So you had a winner there with Tampa.
There you go. All right. Till then, guys, you know the drill. Good luck unless you are against us. We'll see you on the next Power Hour.